One night after closing his clinic, he was asleep at home. There was a knock on the door of his home. Dr. I's grandmother opened the door. In India there are two layered doors, an internal one and an external one. Here the internal one was opened with the see-through external one locked for any additional protection. So in front of his grandmother was a person, in the dark of the night, asking, in the local tongue, Tamil, for the doctor to help his wife who was pregnant and was in urgent need of medical care. The grandmother didn't want to disturb Dr. I, so basically said that he is resting and to please come back in the morning. However, he was very insistent and persisted on the assistance of the doctor, citing that it was very urgent and she was critical. In hearing all the commotion at the front door, Dr. I woke up and on hearing the situation from the stranger agreed to help him. He packed any medical equipment he thought would be appropriate and left with the stranger to assist him. On the way to his home, where his wife required assistance, all the routes were pitch black and without much lighting, so Dr. I still hadn't seen the stranger clearly. He could only make out that he was wearing some clothes. The stranger kept on telling him how sorry he was to disturb him so late on at night, and that his wife was truly in need of medical attention. Along the way, the stranger turned towards a graveyard, which made the doctor halt and ask. The stranger responded that his home was behind the graveyard and thus intersecting it would be the shortest route towards it. Dr. I agreed to follow him, albeit still not completely convinced, thought that it at least made some sense and that he hadn't found a reason to doubt him. Walking through the graveyard they walked close to a lamppost and thus some better lighting. At this point the doctor couldn't believe it, but despite trying to locate the stranger's face, he couldn't see any. All he could see was clothes hanging in the air. At this point he obviously tried to hide his shock, but he tried to think of an excuse to get out of there. So he told the figure that he had forgotten some of the key equipment and needed to go back home to get it. However, the stranger insisted that it isn't required and to just let it be. The doctor somehow tried to get out of it and said that the equipment is very important and that he would even leave his current case behind if he didn't believe him. Leaving the bag behind, he ran to his home, hoping that the stranger thought that he was hurrying to get the equipment rather than to escape. Once home, he told what had happened to his grandmother, both of whom stayed vigilant throughout the night, but he eventually managed to get some shut-eye. In the morning, still shocked by the events of the last night, the doctor went in to work as usual and tried to go on his everyday business, so as to forget about what had happened. During the day, the local mayor, chancellor, basically someone in a high post at the town's local government, had come to his clinic to get his son checked up. While small talk took precedent, the doctor mentioned how the local government could do more to install more street lights, so as to improve visibility at night. He cited yesterday's instance as an example, without getting into details, basically suggesting that he could see anything while following a potential patient. The mayor seemed intrigued by the example, so he asked the doctor to explain further, to which he explained in further details, missing out the detail about him seeing basically an invisible figure. As things like this can be perceived as a sign of madness in Indian culture. The mayor seemed interested, but yet unsurprised, and thus he requested that the doctor drop by his office when he has closed the clinic. Still scarred by the event of last night and now worried about what revelations lay with the mayor, the doctor closed the clinic earlier than usual and went to his office. While there, the mayor asked for a clearer and a more frank assessment of the events told in the afternoon. Once the doctor revealed the complete truth, the mayor removed 3 files of doctors from his desk. Thinking that these were prospective doctors that may be invited to the small town, Dr. I was impressed and happy that more doctors were being invited into the small town in need of more medical expertise. However, the mayor said that these 3 doctors had been missing previously in similar circumstances that had been experienced by the doctor the night before, where they had been lured to a medical emergency late at night and then not been seen again.